There's a country in Europe that vanished for 500 years, and somehow it survived anyway. Not underground, not in exile, not in secret. Empires tried to erase it: Rome, Byzantium, the Ottomans, the Soviet bloc. And yet today, the language is still here. The rituals are still here. The songs are still here. Even the mountains feel like they remember. Most people can't even point to Bulgaria on a map. And maybe that's part of why it endured. Because here's the question nobody asks. What does that kind of survival do to a country? What happens to a place when history keeps trying to overwrite it and it refuses to be rewritten? Bulgaria is 13 centuries old, conquered again and again, scrubbed from maps for generations. Still here, and when you start looking closely, something gets unsettling. Bulgaria doesn't feel like a country built on history. It feels like a country built out of it, layer after layer after layer. Still visible, still alive. Most nations define themselves by what they built. Bulgaria defines itself by what it refused to lose. It sits in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods on Earth, wedged between Europe and Asia, between Rome and Constantinople, between Christianity and the Ottoman world, right in the path of powers that usually turn smaller places into footnotes. Normally, geography like that destroys countries. But Bulgaria is full of things that shouldn't logically exist together. Roman streets beneath Soviet cities, pagan rituals beside Orthodox monasteries, gold older than the pyramids, a language that stayed remarkably stable for more than 1,000 years, and somewhere in the mountains, a monastery that may have kept an entire people from disappearing. When you travel through Bulgaria, you start to notice something strange. This country didn't modernize by replacing its past. It layered over it, not reconstructed traditions, not museum traditions, living ones. And that matters because the story of Bulgaria isn't the guidebook version. It's the story of what survives when history keeps trying to erase you. Start in the capital. Most capitals are built on history. Sofia is built through it. And the difference matters more than it sounds. Sofia does something to visitors. The longer you stay, the less sure you are what century you're standing in. You can walk a few minutes downtown and pass Roman, Ottoman, Soviet, and modern European history without ever going anywhere. This city doesn't hide its contradictions. It stages them. At one point, Sofia's metro expansion broke into an ancient Roman city, almost perfectly preserved under the streets. Bathhouses, roads, public squares. And now, commuters scroll on their phones above ruins older than Christianity, rushing to work, while the skeleton of an empire rests quietly below their feet. Above ground, the contradictions get louder. Golden domes of an Orthodox cathedral built to honor Russian soldiers who helped free Bulgaria from Ottoman rule. And nearby, a monumental Stalinist complex, another vision of Bulgaria staring back. Two different eras, two different loyalties, two different futures facing each other, neither blinking. And then there's the other Sofia, the one reaching forward. Workshops turned into studios, loading docks turned into theaters. But even there, history keeps surfacing. scratch beneath a mural medieval walls, step through a modern cafe courtyard Byzantine ruins. In Sofia, the past isn't background. It keeps interrupting the present. Somewhere under this city are roads walked by Roman merchants, Ottoman officials, communist bureaucrats, modern software engineers, different empires, same ground. And Bulgaria survives another century. But Sofia is only the surface, because the deeper story was protected somewhere harder to reach, in the mountains. Imagine your country disappearing, not conquered, not weakened, erased. No schools in your language, no government, no national institutions for 500 years. This isn't hypothetical for Bulgaria. It happened. In 1396, Bulgaria ceased to exist politically. The Ottoman Empire absorbed it completely. For the next 5 centuries, there was no Bulgarian state. And yet, the language survived. The identity survived. The memory survived. So, how? Part of the answer is hidden deep in forested mountains, where stone walls rise like a warning. Rila Monastery doesn't look spiritual from the outside. It looks defensive, because it was. Thick walls, towers, minimal openings. This wasn't only a monastery. It was a vault, a fortress built to protect something you can't hold in your hands. Picture a monk, sometime in the 1700s, sitting by candlelight, copying Bulgarian texts by hand. Quiet work, dangerous work. Discovery could mean punishment, and the hand keeps moving anyway. Line after line, word after word, not because it's safe, because it's necessary. Then you step inside, and everything changes. Color, light, frescoes covering every surface like an explosion of memory. And the point wasn't decoration. It was education. When Bulgarians couldn't freely learn their language, these walls taught history in pictures. Saints, martyrs, stories, warnings. A library made of paint. And then, disaster. In 1833, a massive fire tore through parts of the monastery. Centuries of work nearly vanished in smoke, but the monks rebuilt it again. Because this place had become more than architecture. It had become continuity itself. Inside the church, the carved wooden iconostasis is so intricate it feels impossible. Details smaller than fingernails. Craftspeople worked for years and left almost no records behind. The work mattered more than the names. Stand in Rila before sunrise, before the crowds, and the feeling isn't peace, it's weight. Like you're standing inside something people suffered to preserve. 5 centuries of occupation, fires, earthquakes, world wars, communist repression, and still the painting continued. Still the memory held. Rila didn't survive despite Bulgarian history. It survived because of it. In southern Bulgaria, the landscape stops trying to be pretty and becomes elemental. The Rila and Pirin ranges dominate the southwest with the calm authority of something older than civilization itself. The 7 Rila lakes were carved by glaciers thousands of years ago. But what matters isn't the geology, it's the feeling. As you climb, the trees thin out, the air changes, the scale changes, and then, suddenly, the lakes appear. One, then another, then all 7, like mirrors scattered across the mountain. And here's the strange part. People don't come here only to look. They come to do something. Every August, thousands climb up before sunrise, and beside the water they move in synchronized circles, a ritual dance born in the 20th century, performed like it's older than the rock beneath it. From above, it looks almost extraterrestrial. But it reveals something simple. Bulgarians don't treat these mountains as scenery. They treat them as participants. Then, Pirin, where Rila feels contemplative, Pirin feels confrontational. Sharp marble peaks, sudden storms, ancient forests, and somewhere in these woods stands a pine tree more than 1,300 years old. It was already ancient when medieval Bulgaria collapsed. Stand beside it and most people stop talking, which might be the most accurate response to Bulgaria. These aren't the Alps. No luxury resorts, no carefully packaged wilderness. What they offer instead is increasingly rare in modern Europe. Silence with substance. And the unsettling feeling that the mountains remember more than people do. If Rila is the Bulgaria travelers come to see, the Rhodopes are the Bulgaria that still feels undiscovered. The roads narrow, the forests deepen, and the modern world fades with every mile. These mountains don't impress you all at once. They pull you in slowly. Soon it's the stone villages, wood smoke in the valleys, and a silence that feels centuries old. Then comes the music. The haunting songs of the Rhodopes don't sound like anything else in Europe. Some researchers believe parts of these traditions may predate Bulgaria itself, echoes of the ancient Thracians who lived here thousands of years ago. Not history preserved in books, history preserved in sound. And the mountains keep offering stranger secrets. Gorges cut through limestone cliffs. Rivers vanish underground without warning. For decades, researchers traced these hidden waterways, releasing dye into streams and watching it reappear kilometers away in completely unexpected places, like the mountains were hiding an invisible world beneath the surface. Local legends have another explanation. They say Orpheus, the mythical musician who descended into the underworld, began his journey here. And, standing in these valleys, it's surprisingly easy to understand why. Because beneath the forests, beneath the villages, beneath the stories, the Rhodopes feel like they're holding something older than Bulgaria itself, the ancient Thracians. And maybe that's what makes this place unforgettable. The Rhodopes don't wear their history openly. They carry it quietly, like a memory passed from generation to generation, always present, rarely explained. And in many ways, that quiet endurance might be one of the most Bulgarian qualities of all. Then, suddenly, Bulgaria changes again. There's a product made here that quietly powers the global luxury industry. You've probably smelt it before, maybe this morning. In a single valley before sunrise, hands move through petals in near silence. Because heat destroys the oil. Every minute matters. The harvest begins in the dark, when the roses still hold their scent like a secret. To produce 1 kilogram of rose oil takes tons of petals, thousands upon thousands of flowers, for a single kilogram. It's obsessive, almost unreasonable. And that's part of the point. This isn't just economics, it's culture. A ritual tied to harvest cycles older than modern Bulgaria itself. Children throwing petals, songs before the sun comes up. There's something quietly perfect about the fact that Bulgaria, so often treated as peripheral, supplies the invisible foundation of many of the world's most prestigious perfumes. You rarely see Bulgaria on the label, but it's there anyway, which is also a surprisingly accurate description of Bulgarian history. To understand why Bulgaria still exists today, you have to go back to a time when it wasn't just surviving empires, it was competing with them. In the late 12th century, a rebellion against Byzantine rule changed everything. What began as an uprising became a powerful kingdom, and its capital was here, Veliko Tarnovo. Even today, the location feels like strategy made physical. A narrow ridge wrapped by the Yantra River, steep slopes protecting it on nearly every side. This wasn't just a capital, it was a statement. For nearly 2 centuries, Tarnovo flourished. Churches rose above the cliffs, merchants filled the streets, foreign visitors compared it to Constantinople itself. But by the late 1300s, a new force was sweeping across the Balkans, the Ottoman Empire. Kingdom after kingdom fell, and eventually the siege reached Tarnovo. Fire, smoke, bells echoing across the hills. Then, in 1393, the city fell. 3 years later, Bulgaria disappeared from the political map of Europe. For many nations, that would have been the end of the story. But somehow, it wasn't. Today, people still gather beneath these walls as light and sound bring the medieval capital back to life. Not because they've forgotten what happened here, because they remember. More than 600 years after losing this capital, people still return. Not as mourning, as identity. Because in Tarnovo, survival became something more powerful than memory. It became part of who Bulgaria is. Now follow the pull of the sea. For 3,000 years, empires fought over Bulgaria's Black Sea coastline. And that usually means one thing. Something valuable was here. Control the coast, and you control routes connecting Europe and Asia. Along the shore, towns still carry the shape of their ancient origins. Narrow peninsulas, defensive elevations, sea visible at the end of every lane, stone weathered by centuries of salt wind, not designed that way, changed that way. In places like Nessebar, history starts to feel disorienting. Medieval churches packed into a tiny space, Byzantine walls, Thracian foundations beneath them, modern restaurants pressed against thousand-year-old stone. After a while, you stop asking what century you're in, because the centuries are all happening at once. Further north, red cliffs rise above black water. And somewhere below, dolphins still surface beside a coastline occupied continuously since Thracian times. Human powers kept changing: Greek, Roman, Bulgarian, Ottoman, Communist. The coastline stayed, and Bulgaria stayed with it. Then comes a city that forces a different question. What does it mean for a city to be 8,000 years old? Not an ancient ruin, a living city, still functioning. Plovdiv didn't survive by reinventing itself. It survived by layering identities: Thracian, Greek, Roman, Ottoman, Bulgarian. Every civilization left something behind, and somehow nothing fully replaced what came before. A Roman theatre, rediscovered by accident during modern construction. Buried, forgotten, still intact. And now performances happen there again. Opera, on a stage built 2,000 years ago. No amplification needed. The stone still carries sound exactly as intended. In the old town, houses lean over narrow streets like people in conversation. And maybe that's Plovdiv perfectly. A city in permanent conversation with itself. Stand above Plovdiv at dusk, ancient marble catching the last light while modern traffic moves below, and you start to understand something essential about Bulgaria. It never fully abandoned any version of itself. It just kept adding layers. In the northwest, geology creates something so dramatic that empires immediately recognized it as power. Massive rock towers rising from the earth like frozen giants. The Romans saw them and did something brilliant. They built a fortress into the rocks instead of beside them. Up close, it's hard to tell where nature ends and architecture begins. Roman foundations, Bulgarian modifications, Ottoman reinforcements, all threaded through stone older than humanity itself. At sunset, the rock turns a red that barely looks real. And standing beneath them produces a strange feeling. Not that humans built something great here, but that humans briefly borrowed greatness from geology. And for a little while, it helped Bulgaria survive another empire. But under all of this, under monasteries, cities, and fortresses, there's another layer. Older than Bulgaria, older than Rome, older than classical Greece. A civilization archaeologists are still trying to fully understand. In 1972, near Varna, a worker struck gold with an excavator. Literally, what followed stunned archaeologists. Thousands of gold artifacts, precise, sophisticated, impossible, and older than anyone thought civilization here could be. That gold predates the Great Pyramid by thousands of years, which means advanced society existed here far earlier than many historians once assumed. And then there are the Thracians, a people both famous and mysterious. We know so little because almost no written Thracian records survive. So what remains instead is gold, tombs, rituals, sanctuaries, myths, places carved into stone and held onto for millennia. Oracles ancient writers claimed could predict the rise of conquerors. Maybe those stories are myth. But after traveling through Bulgaria, myth and history stopped feeling completely separate. The Thracians vanished politically, but traces of them still surface everywhere. In music, in rituals, in mountain sanctuaries, in folklore. Another civilization gone. Another layer left behind. The pattern keeps repeating. And there's one more layer most tourists never see. A Bulgaria hidden on mountain roads and in nearly empty villages. A Bulgaria that isn't curated, isn't reconstructed, just continuing. Some villages feel suspended outside modern time. Children on bicycles, rhythms that feel inherited, not designed. And in a town with fewer than 200 residents, wine has been produced continuously since the medieval period. Beneath the streets are tunnels carved into sandstone, storage cellars, wine caves, memory preserved underground again. But Bulgaria now faces a quieter threat than invasion. Depopulation, migration, aging villages. Many young Bulgarians leave for larger European economies. And once again the old question returns: what survives? Because what makes these places powerful isn't nostalgia, it's authenticity. Culture here isn't performed for visitors. It's simply continuing. And in modern Europe, that's becoming extraordinarily rare. At some point in Bulgaria, you stop thinking about the country as a place, and you start thinking about it as a survival story. Most modern nations treat history like something finished, contained, archived behind museum glass. Bulgaria doesn't. Here, the past still feels active. Roman roads still shape cities. Ancient songs still shape villages. Monasteries still shape identity. The past was never fully separated from the present. And maybe that explains the Bulgarian paradox. A country conquered repeatedly, erased politically, absorbed by empires, pushed through occupation, collectivization, collapse, arriving in the 21st century with an identity still unmistakably its own. Not despite the pressure, because of it. Survival, repeated long enough, stops being circumstance. It becomes character. And maybe that's why Bulgaria feels so hard to categorize. Western, Eastern, modern, ancient, European, Balkan. Bulgaria spent so long surviving other civilizations, it became something entirely its own. Some countries are built by history. Bulgaria was built by surviving it. This country was never supposed to last. And somehow, it still does.